Prince of Persia, Sands of Time Remake gets new update from Ubisoft. Creation. It is said that the Sands of Time were created when Kaileena, a byproduct of the god's creation of time itself, was killed by the guardian of the timeline, Dahaka. Without her death, the Sands of Time would not exist. Following her death, by some unknown means, the Sands of Time were trapped inside the Hourglass of Time on the island of Time. They were later taken from the island by the Maharajah, the father of Farah, to India where they resided behind the walls of his palace outside his treasure vault. The Sands of Time. A young prince takes part in Sharaman's siege against the Maharajah, unaware they'd been manipulated by the Maharajah's Vizier for his own gain. He and his father retrieve the Dagger of Time and the Sands of Time and capture the Maharajah's daughter, Farah. While they were visiting Azad, the prince is tricked into releasing the Sands of Time. His actions turn the entire court of Azad into sand creatures. Only Farah, the Vizier, and himself are protected by the artifacts of time they possessed. Aided by Farah, the prince succeeded in triggering the Grand Rewind and returning the Sands of Time to the Hourglass. Ubisoft has provided a brief new update related to its forthcoming remake of Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. First announced back in 2020, Ubisoft's new version of The Sands of Time has had a very rough development. Initially, the project was slated to launch in early 2021, before getting delayed multiple times. Earlier this year, Ubisoft then revealed that it would instead be switching the title's developer to Ubisoft Montreal from Ubisoft Mumbai. And while this transition will seemingly lead to a better game, it doesn't sound like the remake is still anywhere close to releasing. In a new post on Ubisoft's official website today, the publisher made clear that it hasn't cancelled Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake in any capacity. Despite this, Ubisoft did make clear that it's going to now be cancelling pre-orders for the game and refunding money to customers where possible. While the cancellation of these pre-orders might seem like bad news for the Sands of Time remake, Ubisoft has stressed that this is only being done until the game gets a new release date. Additionally, Ubisoft felt the need to also stress that it isn't remaking any other Prince of Persia games at the moment. Although some fans have wanted to see other installments in the series recreated, Ubisoft says there are no plans to remake any other Prince of Persia title. At this point, Ubisoft likely needs to stop talking about Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake until it has something more to show or say about the game. Following its initial reveal 2 years ago, essentially everything that has come forward about the Sands of Time remake since that announcement has been bad news. Whether or not the long-awaited remake will arrive in 2023 remains to be seen, but for now, we continue to be left in the dark. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time is a third-person action-adventure puzzle platforming video game developed by Ubisoft Montreal and released worldwide in November 2003 across most major platforms. It was published by Ubisoft in Western territories and Sony Computer Entertainment in Japan. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time is a reimagining of the original Prince of Persia trilogy that began with Jordan Mechner's 1989 game for the Apple II. The first in the Sands of Time trilogy, and follows the journey of an arrogant young prince whose father attacks the Maharajah's kingdom in India and discovers a mysterious artifact called the Dagger of Time that can control time. When he is fooled into opening the Hourglass of Time by the Vizier, he is accompanied by the princess of the conquered Indian kingdom to recapture the Sands of Time, enchanted sands that transforms anyone it touches into hideous sand creatures. Announced in March 2003, The Sands of Time was released across PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, Game Boy Advance and Microsoft Windows between October and November of that year. A version for mobile phones was developed and published in North America by Gameloft in 2004. From 2017, it also works on Xbox One via backward compatibility. The Sands of Time received critical acclaim upon release from major gaming websites and award ceremonies, but failed to meet initial sales expectations despite its eventual success. The success of The Sands of Time led to 3 sequels: Prince of Persia, Warrior Within, Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones, in 2004 and 2005, respectively, and later, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands, set between The Sands of Time and Warrior Within, released in May of 2010 on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii and PC. On November 2010 and April 2011, The Sands of Time was included in the PlayStation exclusive HD collection for the Sands of Time trilogy alongside The Two Thrones and Warrior Within.